here. Doing a lighting check. Hi, this is Dr. Mia Luth. It is April 22nd, 2024. It is 0500, 5 a.m. Eastern New York time. So I'm doing a lighting check here. And this is a little bit of an issue. Get this straight now. Yeah, some of my lighting effects make me look like, oh, hell. So this is not a beauty contest. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about ice hockey. Yeah. Top cheddar. Anyway, so I have had to arrange my living space in a way that so I can have a working studio and so that I have less trip and fall hazards because unfortunately this is an issue for me these days and I'm getting tired of getting injured. It's getting a little silly. And yes, I know there's people that are gonna want you. People are gonna want to say things, and it's just like, trust me, I'm not having fun. I should have a little bit of quality of life, though. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I wanted to make sure today is a lighting test when it's dark outside. So it's 0500. At this point, it's dark outside. Most of the time, it's dark outside. But the summer starts approaching. Yes, it'll probably become dawn at some point. So I'm trying to test lighting and best times of day because the lighting is different for sure. Uh, when it's when I have natural light coming in here, so I'm making notes, and I did find I have a few lighting situations. I have a lot of mobile lights because of recording studio, all that kind of stuff. So right now, my budget is big fat goose egg. So I work with what I got. You know what I'm saying? Um, so try. Oh, that hurt. I know my face is probably glorious. But I know a lot of hockey people, and well, we're used to seeing pain faces. So it's subjective how one might feel about these things. I think one of the I'm gonna say this. I've I've been an ice hockey fan for a really long time, and some years because of life events and things happening, I don't like. It's almost like to miss a season, or they go on strike, or yes, they need to go argue about things. You don't have hockey for the whole season or a half season. Well, not NHL hockey, but that is the one thing is that when that happens, if it's not a strike, right, there's still AHL hockey. There's still hockey going on in the world, which is a bonus at the very least. So, that is at the very least is a good part about lockouts. If you gotta find one as a fan, well, nobody asks the fans. You understand? Right. We don't have a say. Right. So, anyway, uh, yeah. Um, like I said, there are some heavy topics that will come up because this is a documentary now. Well, part of one. I had no intention of making a documentary at any point in my life, but it just seems like it's just the best and easiest way for me to handle certain situations. And I don't want to say this out loud, but I'm going to because I'm sure that there would be certain type of response from certain type of people. But am. I mean, I already got the death sentence. Social Security Administration. I need to. Can you guys? They, I don't know why they didn't get the updates. I'm like, I have PTSD. I have diabetes. I have right some kind of Parkinsonism or right something that causes me very similar issues. The medications that I've been given. I had a doctor that I trusted get indicted, and then I found out later that didn't anywhere near indicate the seriousness of my sleep disorder to yes the Social Security Administration back in 2007 or 2008. I mean, well, he got like I'm sure he doesn't have his medical license anymore if the guy is still alive. I'm really not in the mood to be looking up people because it is. I'm sure there are other people on Earth. I'm hoping most of them are older than me. But as 51-year-old, my entire family deceased, people I've loved, people I've known, people I haven't known that well, but I've known for a long time, people I've known of, people, right? And I'm just like, I don't, I don't think I have it in me right now to try and look for people online because it's like, oh no, deceased. What? Deceased. Oh, right. But I do plan on litigating. That is what's going to happen. But I am grateful that I at least got to the point where I could actually rule out Parkinson's, the kind of Parkinson's that Michael J. Fox has and others. But females have that. And yes, people need to really understand the significance of Michael J. Fox. Okay, I know, growing up, like actor style, probably would not have thought in his teens and early 20s he would be well known for another reason, but might as well use it for positive things. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he was diagnosed at 29. So he must have had some symptoms, but you get what I'm saying, people. Okay, that's not exactly anomalous because there are cases of early onset, and it may not even be early onset. It just might be that our statistics based on reporting are like that. You understand? So, okay, it's a serious matter if you have a doctor to tell you that you've got 3 or 4 of the core symptoms of Parkinson's. Don't waste time. Don't let anybody try and give you shit. Find a way to get to a neurological clinic right, that has people who are very familiar with Parkinsonisms and Parkinson's syndrome and a Parkinsonian or movement disorder. Okay, sometimes these days they may be able just by looking at research they put out and the kind of things that people online, if you can get online, some of them have their research on. You can do some pre-work, and there are occasions where some might try to guide you on the internet. You will have to see there's no way you're going to get around it. Okay, you will have to have some physical tests done, and they'll have to check certain things for sure in brain scans, because these days it seems that Parkinson's, it does affect a certain part of the brain, and that may not be visible early, but other things might. So don't just let that sit. Don't let anybody convince you that you shouldn't be highly focused and concentrated on trying to get to people who can help you clarify your diagnosis. Some doctors can help rule some things out before you get to a neurologist, because there are some medications, and I have been on one of them, that can cause some brain chemical situations to cause certain things to happen. And I'm going to give an example of what was happening to me. This happened to me for a year and a half. I'm not happy it took so long. Some of these things, no. We all, as U.S. American citizens, need to try and help each other understand a better way of medical care entirely. And I do need patients, people who fill out forms, people who should do some homework and research, and liaisons to the public, so sociologists and social workers and different types. Yeah, jump in, kids. Okay, if you're good with people and you know how to talk to people, right? You probably a good, even communications majors or minors with psychology and sociology, because um, helping the general public get information and understand it. Some of this stuff, you look at it. I mean, some of you aren't going to be looking at scientific studies. You probably wouldn't even really know how to read them properly. And it's not a dig on you. It's like you are not trained to do that. Why would you, right? General public, people who know how to do that, but also clergy. When I say clergy, I'm referring to Christians, but any clergy, I mean, should you, right? There are certain things that can get communicated better, and some things that people are a little bit leery of when it comes to that kind of stuff, some of those things can be eased, so it's not so scary. Anyway, yeah, here we go. So what I'm going to do is a demonstration. This, I lay down, go to bed. I know somebody's going to tell me it's restless leg syndrome, and you'd be wrong. Now, anybody think I can freaking sleep through this? Would you be able to sleep through this? Hi, Social Security Administration. Right, people who think I'm like overacting or some shit, or right. Would you be able to sleep through this? No, you wouldn't. How do you people think I'd be able to work? Why do you people think that I have to be in a good mood and smiling for you? Am I an entertainer? The answer is no, it ain't my job. I didn't fall off the face of the earth. I was too freaking sick to get off my goddamn couch, and nobody gave a shit. I could probably have lived a whole lot longer had people really given a shit. And what I'm going to say to the elders on earth, okay, when I was younger, you could lure your age over me. You understand? But I'm 51 now. And I might be younger, but yeah, this young punk probably doesn't give a shit. If you don't want to look at me like an equal, then walk away and keep your yap shut. Okie dokie. See, I'm used to law enforcement, military, and ice hockey people. So I use adult language sometimes. I'm not going to ask for, to be excused for that. Just so everybody knows, I just watched the movie Born Wild, which is, I think it's on Prime. Uh, it wasn't that good at all. I rarely say that because some are like freshman attempts or where there's, yeah, there are reasons why sometimes it may seem like it's not that good, but it's because like everybody, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure what that was, freshman attempt or not, but I'm looking at the screen. It's the movie's over, and there's one person who rated it and gave it three stars. Three. Uh, yeah, I agree. Three. Like, it's so bad people don't even want to take the time to rate it. Although, if you're a motorcycle fan, there's some eye candy for you. Anyway, there are people I'm working on trying to thank or communicate with or whatever. And in some ways, it's a little sad because, kind of got a death sentence. And I didn't commit any like felonies or anything. So, anyway, it does suck when you find out that like you're not going to live like to the age of 80 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there are things that you get used to when you start to understand, all right, well, whatever. So now, sort of a shortened time frame view, I was hoping I would at least be able to continue to drive and be a little more independent still past the age of 51, but alas, that is not the case. Shit, and other bench coach language I have to say about that. But there are people who are a little more understanding than others in this world. I gotta be honest. But what I am saying to people older than me, yeah, you could pull that shit on me when I was younger, but you can't now. Oh, by the way, I have a PhD too. I got paperwork too. I mean, I just did it both ways so that nobody could give me shit. That's why it took so long. But I'm finished completely. Trying to get stuff out, scientific notions, ideas, whatever. sharing before I pass away is what I'm doing. Okay. Uh, so yes, I've been reminiscing and going over, catching up on early holidays. Was just, ugh, I was sunk pretty low. It was hard to get out of bed. So I made myself by concentrating on YouTube and all of my favorite musical types of people. I still got plenty to go, but yes, I decided, I started with like, okay, what's the first, right, like album I ever bought? And am I caught up with that band? Okay, well, they're not making music there. Oh, okay, I'm caught up with them. And I'm caught up with Duran Duran. All right, I gotta go over here. Okay, whoa. Like, ooh, that ocean is heavy. Bush. Goodness. I know. Like, whoa. I get the feeling that Gavin Rossdale has been going through some things. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, he's still got vocal chops at his age, which is good. That's what I'm saying is, some of us are at the age where it began to be a little more clear that if you don't take care of yourself and sort of avoid certain things that weren't avoided in the music industry previously, yeah, there's been a good learning curve. Unfortunately, it did take disaster and tragedy. I prefer we all try to see it coming and avoid it, but whatever. 988, everybody. If you're law enforcement and you really have somebody you don't really just want to leave like on the street or just leave sit, or well, now you have other options than to just leave them where they are or try and drop them off at a outside, what do you call it, what's it called, I don't know, I've been to one. Yeah, like a homeless shelter or something. Yeah. 988. There are some crisis places that have mobile people 24 hours a day. So it might be possible to have someone else like sit with someone or try and like, yeah, get them in the morning to social services or somewhere. Yeah. There's another option. Or if they seem like super depressed or really upset, but I mean, as law enforcement officers, you can only do so much and you only train for so much. But 988 is another option. Some people may not know about it. So, law enforcement officers can use it to also for your own selves and anybody you know. People who volunteer as rescuers, EMTs, things like that, don't often get provided certain uh, psychological and sociological resources that paid people do. So 988. Okay, because you may not need therapy, you may not need medication, but you should at least have some people talking to you and have some people helping you understand your state of mind. A little checkup, anyway. Okay. Um, because I've been one of those people, and I've known some volunteers who get really messed up and they don't either have proper health insurance to cover it or they don't realize it. because when you're full-time paid fire rescue, you're in the mix all the time. The information gets to you, so on and so forth. And resources that might be available to you don't even know about. I mean, even with the internet, there are things that don't get updated. There are things that may not. I mean, not everything's online. You understand that it's come a long ways, but it isn't the end all of all things. Life is not the internet, right? And research has to happen outside the internet still. So I'm pushing 988. It's a crisis number. Right. Also addiction. I mean, if you just like hit the wall and you hit the wall, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just there are places that recognize and understand that a certain type of therapy or program or treatment may work for some, but maybe not you. So there's some who might know, okay, well, maybe we'll try this. Like, ask if there's like a different type of treatment or something that you can try. Okay? Like, don't just give up. Because nowadays, there are a bunch of different ways. Some medicated, some not, some inpatient, some not. Okay? There are a lot more options nowadays. But also, as clergy, what I'm saying to people who answer prayer lines, well, you're human contact. And of course, you ask, let's pray together. Some might not want that. But that's basically what you do. That's what you're there. But some might feel more comfortable talking to a human being at 2:00 in the morning or 2:00 in the afternoon, and they can't get a hold of one. You understand what I'm saying? Churches. So you can also be a friend on the phone. Okay? And if you really run into a situation, some you might have to end up calling 911, but if 911 police can't and they're in at 988 is also an option to try. Okay? Call 911, but also 988. All right. Don't just push for money. Some of you getting a little out of hand. I'm being honest as clergy. Okay? People who answer prayer lines here are human beings. Their people need human contact, even if it's on the phone. And these days, with technology, there may be a way to Skype. There may be a way to just help a friendly get to the right resources. Okay? It's not just prayer. You can actively do some things too by being a decent human being. Some of them might want to vent. They might yell at you. It's okay. Just hold the phone out. Just turn down the volume and just let them go. Okay? Maybe confused as hell. They may be, going through something that you can't possibly understand. Just try to keep them communicating, okay? I mean, that's just a human thing to do. Yes, more information. I wanted to make sure. Yeah. I have something that is called periodic limb movement disorder. And these days, the medical field in the specifics does differentiate. It is not restless leg syndrome because it also affects arms and head and body core. Okay, right. Uh, but like I said, I was having a hell of a time with that. But it turned out it was gabapentin that was doing that in combination with other medications. So I can't use Neurontin, yes, gabapentin for neurological pain. There's only so much I'm gonna put myself through, people. I don't care who you are. You don't have to say. Oh, I ran out of juice, so I can't hold up my phone with it. But it's periodic limb movement disorder. It's more complex than just basic restless leg. The medications for it can differ. And what happens is basically I run a marathon when I'm sleeping and move around so much when I'm sleeping that I can't get quality sleep, which kills a person faster. Is it okay that I'm using my SSI?